Today we're taking a look at the pig. Hi, my name is Matt Hinkle with Box Alarm Training, and today we're taking a look at the pig made by Lone Star Axe out of Texas. So made in the USA, very modified style of an axe. I don't even know if you would call it an axe, but it's a great forcible entry tool and trucky tool. You know, it's a great tool. So many of you may have picked it up before. If you haven't, it's a heavy tool. It's an 8-pound head. So it feels heavy when you pick it up. You know, you think, oh, that's a solid tool. But that's a big advantage for certain things, especially with forcible entry. When we pair this up with a Halligan and we strike it, everybody that has tried it out has really seen how well it strikes a Halligan, because it is a nice big flat striking surface, and it's basically a big block. It swings really well when you go to strike another tool. It's made out of a good steel. It's not cheap stuff. It's going to hold up, and it's very durable. One of the things we've talked about is mushrooming. You know, when you hit an axe, when you do a lot of forcible entry, mushrooming is when that steel starts to roll over the edge. When that happens, you don't get a very good hit. The edges aren't squared off anymore, and you can get some deflections, and it's just not good for the tool. This tool holds its square edge really, really well. It doesn't take much maintenance to stay in good shape. So another feature of the tool you're going to notice is on this back side, you've got this pick, or big spike. And basically, it's kind of taking a pick head axe and cutting the blade off the front. And this works really well because the pick is great for knocking in like an inspection hole in a roof, through decking, asphalt, shingles, stuff like that. It goes right through it. And right behind that, you've got this wedge of steel right behind that spike. So if you drive it in pretty well, you're going to get a really good crack at the beginning of that hole. If you're on roof decking or asphalt shingles, anything like that, then most guys typically turn it around and go ahead and use it just like a flathead axe, but you've got a really fat surface to hit with. So it just tears apart decking. It does a really good job. We've got some slow-mo footage of this, so we're going to take some look at that. So another feature you might have noticed is this little notch right here in the spike, and that's to pair a Halligan together. So when we look at the axe and the Halligan, we call that the irons. It's classic tool combination that we're all used to. So this incorporates that design feature specifically to pair up with a Halligan. I got a Max Rex here, so I'm gonna pair it with this pig. Now you're gonna notice that the forks extend past the top of the pig, and so when you want to pair these together, if you really want it to lock and stick together, you need to use like a 4x4 or an elevated surface to strike the top of this and get these forks to go in. Obviously you can't hit it on the ground, or it would hit your forks and knock the Halligan out. So when you're ready to use it, you hold it just like I'm holding it, and to get them unlocked, you basically bump the handle, your Halligan comes out, and now you're ready to use the pig separately from the Halligan. So a couple other quick uses with this spike. If any of you have ever done the baseball swing, the pig does the baseball swing pretty well. It's not quite as sharp of a spike to get through a wooden door jamb as a Halligan. I like the Halligan doing a baseball swing, but you can do that. It also, having the spike gives you a pretty big advantage on a roof if you want to make a step. So you could drive the spike into the roof. You got a nice footstep right there, something to brace your foot on if you're making a cut on the roof. So it also, just as far as being a strong head made of a high-grade steel, you can break block, you can break, you know, a lot really tough surfaces, go into burglar bars, things like that. You can handle that really well with a pig. So originally the pig only came in a couple of different varieties. You could get it notched or not notched, and you could get a couple of different links on the handle. But now they've got a new tool out called the Piglet. And the Piglet is just a 6-pound version of the pig. It's got a little bit different shape to it. And I've heard really good things about it so far. I haven't been able to try it out, but I expect it probably handles very well if it performs anything like the pig. So being a little lighter, it's probably maybe a little more preferred for roof type ops because it's probably a little easier to swing, but it's not going to hit as well as this does for forcible entry. This one really hits and strikes really, really well for forcible entry. So if you want more information about the tool, check out their website, LoneStarAxeLLC.com. They'll have a lot more information, all the details there for you to check out. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and go over to our Facebook page and give us a like. It helps us to generate more training videos, more reviews. It's really what keeps us going. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.